Hello there! Welcome back to The Spell, where, we actually shot Steve. I'm not even kidding, we shot Steve. So, yeah, it's gonna be entertaining. He put a stop to this moment of leisure by slowly getting back up and turned toward the source of his irritation. The corpse of a man was lying on the bed. The pillow is still on his head. He had to call him. He knew he had to, but he didn't want to. He's been it, wasting his time next to the corpse for the past hour, even though he knows perfectly well how unprofessional that is. How immature it is, but he didn't care. His cell phone immediately vibrated. He looked at it without emotions. Marked his mark is displayed on the screen. It's him. Perfect. He diligently brought the phone to his ear. But right before he had the time to answer the call, he heard something familiar coming out of the television. That is, his eyes turned to it. Was the news channel? They were reporting on a car accident. A fatal car accident. The names of the victims were very well known to him. Personally known to him. Yet, he didn't feel a thing. Oh, so we're gonna go through the entire thing. Don't tell me this is season 2. Fuck, does that mean we need to go through 3 seasons of this? Ah, well played. His nails dug into his palm. Nonetheless, his jaw was infuriating tight. He was sweating a lot, even though he was standing still doing nothing. He looked back at his phone. Then the corpse of the man and family on the television. He ignored the call, wrote the address down, took the corpse to his car, and then drove away. Oh. Oh. Damn it, man. He had efficiently faked his death. Well, efficiently might not be the right word, but it would be suffice for the time being until they got a hold of his distance, that is. Not that his fake identity had one to begin with. Oh, so he's not our uncle? Oh! That sly motherfucker! 2 hours have passed since he's heard the news. He wanted to go directly to the scene, but after much deliberation, he concluded that it would serve nothing to see, so he won't went to their house instead. It was past 11 at night. All the lights were off. The daughter was probably not there. A distant member of the family was taking care of her. Most likely, sneaked in with Elle. This is what their house looks like. He remembered what his sister had sent him not so long ago. A message, something out of character, something which didn't sit well with him at all. In that message, she was apologizing to him and telling him that she was suspecting her husband of having an affair. Oh, suspecting her husband of having an affair. That makes sense. Maybe. Nothing in the message pointed to the tragedy that had just now unfolded, yet he had a really hard time believing in those types of calculations for her to reach out to him like this. There must be more than meets the eye. Her husband was a very bright man. He had his own tech company. If she caught him, then he must be indulged in this affair for far too long. Like Lycaris. He flew to chase the sun. Close the sun. After searching for 20 minutes, Steve found what he had been looking for: a cell phone. Hidden cell phone. A phone the husband Patrick was probably using exclusively for his cheating. Well played. That's actually a relatively... Actually, that would actually make sense. Why would you want to make sure your wife knew? I am not going down that road because I have fucking no knowledge of that. That's actually a relatively smart move to use a burn phone. I could say that for several other things, not just for freaking affair or whatever the fuck. I'd rather use it for hiding my death. Steve clicked his tongue. The moment his brown eyes browsed the phone's mail, Patrick was bright and alright. He was using cryptic in order to engage the mail he sent. And the person with whom he was conversing with, doing the exchange, expected something, which means that unless Steve could put his head on the private key, he would be able to decrypt any of the messages' contents. Well, it would make sense to cover your tracks, whatever you freaking do. Well, he has his own tech company, so why the fuck not use that? He entered Patrick's studies, found his laptop, still in his bag, next to the working desk, took it out and booted it up. No matter how intelligent Patrick was, he couldn't hide all traces of his information. And furthermore, he simply went to a certain extent where he felt confident that his wife wouldn't catch him. Never planned to hide it, even after his own death. After all, he never planned to die in the first place. Steve was currently not intelligent as him. He could even be considered stupid from society's point of view, but he still had something for himself. His consideration knew no equals. He could be hiding a conversation while recording. And still be able to write is thus on judging archetypes. And while his memories might not be as great, there are still some things planned on to never forget. Like his hatred of Patrick. Well then. He promoted to write his password instead of typing all the key kinds of nonsense. Steve simply took a USB drive. It was extremely easy to bypass the password of an opportunity system with a right tool. Well, even without tools, you probably could manage something that easy. Steve searched a bit, and then involuntarily found what he had been looking for. It was a custom-made program with encryption and decryption messages, with its own private key. There was a catch to it. Okay, I would have at least thought of this maybe a step or two ahead, debatably. To be honest, I might have thought of maybe a step or two ahead, just to be really freaking anal about this, where you have a file. And then in that file you have many other files. And in each one of those files you have many other files. And it goes further down until you reach, let's say, the 10th, 20th, maybe 30th level, and you fill each one of them up with nothing but freaking pretty much red herrings. Pretty much filled with a bunch of different keys. Pretty much filled up with whatever the fuck. And then only one of them has the right one. Has the right file that you need. Right text document that you need to actually open it up and actually do this. Yeah, I know it's really fucking anal, but yet it makes sense. I know you'd have to go through all these fucking hoops just to make sure no one gets into it, but yet it'd be a pain in the ass. It would take fucking forever for someone to kind of figure this out, and then incorporate a backup plan if everything fails. Like, the fuck? For a program, you could have, after, let's say, 3 to 10 attempts, it crashes. And immediately goes straight to the phone, the burner phone. That would actually make relatively good sense, because then you would actually know how to fucking stop this. And now I'm giving people fucking ideas. If you can do this, good on you. I know I won't be able to quite do this at this point. Yeah, I can figure it out, but it's a pain in the fucking ass. That's what I thought. Well, now we know. The private key changed every 24 hours. This meant that you could only read the messages that were sent on the same day. Older messages would become unreadable. I actually makes sense. There was only one message which was sent from Patrick's phone today. And in 15 minutes, the private key would change. That's actually not a bad idea. That's actually not a bad idea. Well, both work in my opinion. But if they find one, if it's on the computer, you're kind of fucked. He still read the content of 2 messages, even though he knew there was probably nothing interesting found there. Yet he couldn't be more wrong. There was one thing which was worth all these efforts. One word: rocks. And the motive for a name, Roxanne, Steve colluded. He copied then deleted the program from Patrick's laptop, putting the encryption phone in his pocket, and sneaking out the same way he sneaked in. I want to get more information before I truly put 2 and 2 together. Just be safe, because there has to be at least quite a few people. There has to be at least a couple of people he comes in contact with that are named Roxanne or Roxy or whatnot. In theory, I want to make sure. Oh wait, I didn't really read that. Day after he received the surprising call. Okay, and escape that. You must be mistaken. There's no way she would. The soul collector? Then... I'm son. A month ago, she made a change in her will. And now, you're to be her daughter. The daughter's guardian. If you accept this news, I accept. Steve said bluntly. Well, that actually kind of makes sense now. But for this, I'll have to end the episode here. For this, we'll actually need to connect more of the dots. Some of you might already know. In this case, I want to connect more of the dots just to make sure. To make sure I'm not suspecting anyone straight off the bat. But either way, I'll see you guys next time, and I hope all of you guys have a great and wonderful time and a fantastic day too. So, I'll see you guys next time.